Pepper says, are you ready to clear out this clutter? I'll be taking a little snoozy as you do that. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to A Hoarder's Heart. For today, we're just diving right in. We're tackling this corner of the living room because it's messy again, and a majority of this is from my clutter blindness. And this didn't happen like overnight. This didn't happen over the past couple of weeks. This has been slowly growing and growing. And the reason why I wanted to tackle this is because we had somebody come out to measure the new garage door because it broke. And when they came inside, I noticed the little side peek at the mess. And that's when my clutter blindness faded and the focus came that, oh wow, yeah, that corner is pretty messy, ain't it? And at that time, I felt this wave of guilt and shame flow over me like, darn, I thought I was past this. But you know what? It was okay. And I'm glad that I felt that guilt and shame because it brought me back to awareness and consciousness that clutter blindness is a very real thing. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how clutter blindness is such a real thing that it fades into the background. I don't even register this. I don't clean it up on a weekly basis because my brain doesn't register it as urgency. Because for my entire life, I don't know if it was the hoarding, the ADHD, or the superpowers combined, messes never bothered me. So it wasn't an urgency to do weekly things to tidy up. So let's bring some awareness. Let's clear this section with a snoozy Miss Peppy, which she enjoys it too. She has clutter blindness sometimes when it comes to comfy spots. But let's get in here and clean out this corner. So this area I'm in a lot. Literally, the couch is my office. The couch is my office, is where I edit and do emails and stuff like that and all my morning stuff. And this would be all the office things that I use. I know, ADHD is a beautiful thing, isn't it? This mess right here is a direct reflection of my mind, my ADHD, on how everything is kind of scrambled all the time. But this is a direct reflection and mirror of my mind and how it works. But it's okay because now I have enough focus where we're going to actually address it. I need another little bin too. We'll say, like, I might have like, this is like the journal bin back here. I might have like the office bin and just bring it up here to put all of my pens because I have to have all of my pretty pens. This is actually my journal, so that can go right here. Peppy, you're gonna be waking up. Tossy, that was from the closet, linen closet declutter from a couple weeks ago. Here is my schedule. Right here is my calendar book. It's a school calendar book, right? So it's at the end of June. June is the last one of this. Here's the new one, July to 2025, 2026. So that's why these are out. So, all right, maybe what best to do is just put aside the office stuff that would be considered like my office that I do every day, like office writing, scheduling, all that stuff, all the pretty pens. That kind of goes over here. This would be considered one of those items. This is an anklet. It's an old anklet, but it needs to be put away. Every morning I have like my little day-to-day calendar and I love them so much, but I gotta throw them out, right? Gotta throw them out. This is like May 14th. My new spend. Here's my new spend binder. Of course, I have this nearby because I'll fill it out every day. This is how June's going, right? I color in the days that we spend absolutely no money, and then I'll have my goals. And this helps me save a lot of money. You know what? If anyone would like a copy of the entire like 2025 like no spend challenge, I have to go on my Etsy shop. I'm gonna slash it down to 99 cents because this truly has helped me. And this economy has been shaky, and because I do the no spend challenge every month, it really has saved me a lot of money so that I can stay home and continue to build this channel. So let's do that, okay? But we got to keep moving on. So let's put the no spend stuff right over here. This is a part of it. Here is, oh my gosh, paper. Paper is going to be a lot, and this needs to be divided up because it's like my paper, my boys' paper, which isn't so much, but I there's still, there's still paper, right? Okay, yeah, this is a lot.
Okay, so let's continue decluttering and throwing as we go and putting stuff away. And let's also dive into clutter blindness, because what is it? Well, clutter blindness is the phenomenon where your brain literally stops seeing the clutter around you, even when it's in plain sight. It's not like laziness or denial. It's a form of a mental and visual overload that causes you to filter out what feels too overwhelming to deal with. For me, I am ADHD hoarding disorder, and I showed those signs since childhood when my room was messy. So for me, my entire life, I've walked around or over clutter for days, weeks, months, years, because I became so used to the clutter being there that my brain didn't even register it or flag it as something urgent anymore. And that's why I walked past the piles, the mountains of clutter, and never took action. But the whole time, I did feel a vague sense of shame. And I couldn't pinpoint why, right? I knew something felt off in my space for my entire life, but my executive function wouldn't let me process it or prioritize it. Because with executive dysfunction with ADHD, it does make it hard to initiate tasks or even know where to start. And because of that, it did cause me guilt, frustration, or even self-blame. Another thing I noticed with my ADHD is that I could clean one area obsessively while completely ignoring other areas. And I found out that that's actually a coping mechanism. Hyper-focusing on something manageable, like organizing a drawer while avoiding the larger mess in a room, is actually quite common. So that's why in some small spaces, I could really OCD fixate on keeping it clean while completely jumping over piles of clutter and blocking doorways going outside. It was a way my brain tricked me into thinking that I was making progress, like churning the hoard. I have done that my entire life because I would just keep shifting clutter from one area to another. So it felt like movement, but the clutter kind of remained. ADHD minds crave momentum, and even if it's sideways, it definitely felt better than nothing. Now, why does clutter blindness happen with ADHD and hoarding disorder? Well, we already talked about executive dysfunction, but there's also visual overstimulation, which leads the brain to mute the clutter to try and avoid sensory overload. There's also time blindness, which means we underestimate how long the clutter has been there, and emotional deregulation, which makes the act of decluttering emotionally overwhelming, so we shut down instead. But here's the gentle truth. Clutter blindness isn't your fault. It's a brain-based coping mechanism for feeling overwhelmed. And the antidote for that is compassionate awareness and not feeling ashamed about it. What you can say to yourself is that I wasn't lazy or careless, I was just overwhelmed. And my brain did its best to protect me by tuning out the mess. But now that I can see it, I choose to face it with compassion, with self-love, not criticism or judgment. My brain was protecting me and doing its best to help me survive when I was overwhelmed, overstimulated, or overburdened. It numbed out the chaos because it thought that noticing everything might break me. And in a way, maybe it was right. Because at the time, I didn't have the tools, the support, or the emotional space to see the mess without spiraling into shame. So instead of fighting my brain, I'm learning to thank it. Thank you for trying to protect me. Thank you for hiding what I couldn't handle. But now I'm in a safer place, a place of healing, and I can gently start to see what I used to avoid. Now let's talk about these Easter baskets that have been sitting here for 2 months. Now, the stuff I'm showing you is the same stuff I put in their baskets every year. It's the same stuff from probably before COVID, just to fill the basket and make it look full. The only thing I bought was their favorite candy, and I put dollar bills and fives in their Easter eggs so they would have spending money for their favorite things this summer. And what I'm doing right now is I'm just pulling the candy out, like Peeps. We actually love to make s'mores Peeps, which is just using the Peeps as the marshmallow in the s'mores. It's something we love to do in the summertime. Anything that is trash, we are getting ready to throw out, and we need to put the Easter baskets back down into the basement where they belong. And we've been doing a no spend on candy too. We even went to the shore and didn't buy any, and even for the last day of school celebrations. So let's continue on to the fireplace. Now this pile right here, I just want to funnel it back into this empty shelf back there. Doing the bookcase is a huge project, and it deserves its own video to fully clean it out, organize it all, and get it looking nice. The goal is just to clear out this little section on the fireplace. Now, let's continue our conversation about clutter blindness and how we can turn this around, because this is not about judgment. It's about building trust with ourselves again. Trust that we can handle looking at a pile without spiraling. Trusting that we can feel discomfort without needing to numb out. Trust that noticing clutter isn't a sign of failure. It's a sign of growth. And that's the heart of gentle decluttering. It's not just about tossing items. It's about reawakening our awareness little by little with compassion, not criticism. Because when we see clearly, even if it's just one corner of the room, we're also seeing a version of us that is brave enough to face the truth and still love ourselves through it. So how do we start seeing again when we've spent so long training ourselves not to? We don't force it. We invite it. Instead of scanning the whole room and panicking about everything we missed, we pick one spot, just one, and just notice it. Maybe it's the pile by the door. Maybe it's the dusty side table that still has a Christmas box on there that I've trained my eyes to ignore. But it's okay. It's all right. We give ourselves grace, and we tell ourselves that it's safe to see this now. Not because it's easy, not because we'll clean it all up in one go, but because I can handle noticing it. And that's enough for today. This is where the healing happens, in the pause between seeing and doing. In the moment, I choose compassion over self-blame. In a way, I let awareness return without rushing the process, because clutter blindness didn't happen overnight, and neither will the healing. But every time I choose to notice with love, not shame, I'm building a new relationship with my space, one rooted in safety, in softness, in slowness, and in a deep knowing that I don't have to fix everything to be worthy of peace. So if you've been clutterblind for years or even decades, I just want you to know that you're not broken. You were never lazy. You were just surviving. And now, in this present moment, you're healing. The fact that you're even thinking about awareness again means your brain is learning that it's finally safe to come home. So don't rush this. Don't shame yourself. And don't wait to feel ready before you begin. Just start noticing. Start seeing the space that holds your story. And know that you are not alone in doing this. We can do this together, one kind glance at a time, encouraging each other. And now me and Miss Pepper are so happy to show you that we definitely cleared out that space on the floor in this corner. It looks so much better. It looks cleaner. It looks manageable. And what's important is that we did it together, and we can continue this journey of clearing out our spaces. And my hope and my prayer is that this video motivated and encouraged you to clean, declutter, and let something go in your home today too.